I'm Courtney Courtwright. We're so excited for you to be here for 9 on the positive side. Here are some of the stories we're going to be telling you about today. We're diving deeper into the history of slot car racing, showing you what makes this hobby so special right here in North Carolina. And it's starting to feel more like fall. More on where to find all the fun from pumpkin patches to corn mazes wherever you are. And a South Carolina principal is trading his usual workday for a one-of-a-kind adventure. And this time of year, people are decorating for fall. While we often buy the biggest pumpkin we can carry and carve it into a jack-o'-lantern, some enjoy a different look. There's a place in Surry County that has pumpkins you probably never seen before. Brad Jones has this story.
A visit to the farm in Dobson is lots of fun for the whole family. While this is a working farm all year long, when fall arrives, they invite folks to enjoy all kinds of games, rides, bounce houses, even a gem mine. And there's also a message here, teaching kids about the food they eat every day.
Yeah, we want everybody to come out and have fun, but we also want families to learn a little something about agriculture and where their food comes from and take that back home with them.
The Watson family has a pumpkin patch filled with plenty of pumpkins ready to carve into a jack-o'-lantern, along with some that make people stop, look, and ask if they're real.
You don't see these everywhere. You know, it's a lot of different stuff, different colors, different shapes, sizes.
Across 20 acres of this Surry County farm, they grow 40 different varieties of pumpkins and a rainbow of colors, including some that look like they're painted or tie-dyed.
Some of the kids can't believe all the different colors of pumpkins that we have, and you know, some of them have warts and some of them are tiny and some of them are huge, and so we've just got all different kinds of pumpkins and everybody likes something different.
Pumpkins may seem like a lot of kid stuff around Halloween, but they also have a fall decor sale where a lot of ladies come by, pick up this whole variety so they can decorate their front yard.
Yeah, around here, just looking like the great pumpkin isn't enough. They're becoming known for the crazy varieties that are sure to be the talk of the neighborhood.
You know, people like the funky looking pumpkins and the ones that can stack and different decorative pumpkins, and so we liked having a big variety.
While most people will use them to decorate, these are just like other varieties you might find at a store. They can be used for cooking. In fact, they make great pies. And the corn maze at the farm is done in the shape of Spookly the pumpkin. It's a children's story about helping kids deal with bullying and being kind to others. Yes, there are important lessons to be learned at the farm, including one for all the adults.
You know, there's small local farms everywhere, and if people can do what they can to support these local farms, you know, we'll be here to provide fun, food, whatever we can, you know, to those people as long as they keep coming.
There's still plenty of regular orange pumpkins for Halloween, but families who visit the farm in Dobson are finding lots of new shapes and new colors that will give their decorations a great look all season long.
And speaking of pumpkins, there are so many local pumpkin patches to check out right here in eastern North Carolina. Now you're looking at video from the annual Temple Free Will Baptist Pumpkin Patch. It's one of many allowing you to support local. Local pumpkin patches are packed with mums, gourds, scarecrows, corn, jams, and pickled fall finds, and of course, obviously, what you're looking at right there are the pumpkins. The majority of pumpkin patches in our area will be open until the first week of November. Now, for a full list of local pumpkin patches, just head over to our website, WNCT.com, and our online originals page. If you'd like to add yours to the list, all you have to do is email us at newsdesk@WNCT.com. The city of Monroe in North Carolina has deep roots in racing, hosting NASCAR decades ago. It's left the city since then, but it's still hosting a special kind of racing unique to that area. Brett Baldeck has more.
Don't blink, or you might miss the race.
You have to drive them. You have to control the speed, or they will launch.
Slot car racing is fast and just as competitive.
We do slot cars as not only a hobby, but also as a major sport.
Just like if you watch NASCAR, you ever saw the guy throw his helmet? Well, it's, you know, we don't have a helmet around here, but we do have cars and things that they can throw. So occasionally, you know, that happens. They get a little spirited in their racing.
The Race Center at the Monroe Crossing Mall is the largest slot car racing facility in North Carolina. There are 5 different tracks. some with familiar names of real-life racing facilities in the Carolinas. The racing here is like real life. Most of the drivers build their cars from scratch.
The biggest major thing in slot car racing that you need to learn is how to solder. And soldering is a vital aspect of being able to build a car.
The tires on the cars are made of rubberized foam, bringing another lifelike feature to the track.
That means that whenever they drive around, they lay rubber down on the track. And so whenever more and more rubber gets laid on the track, the cars get faster because they have more grip.
Because of that rubber, every so often the tracks are cleaned. A glue is sometimes applied for additional grip. But the owners say you can hardly call the occasional maintenance hard work.
We're all about having fun, so it's like making a living but not being serious.
What the owners do take serious is keeping this facility operational for decades to come.
Well, it's like important for the history of slot car racing.
As Greenville's growing, we're going to grow with Greenville for the West Side community and just have it going and going until everyone's involved.
That's Guy Vitarosa. He owns Westside Private Recreation Center right in the city of Greenville. It's on Albemarle Avenue. He started training people in the late 1970s, from self-defense classes to training to apprenticeship programs. There's a lot happening inside the center. He's trying to find ways to help people who live here, including educating people on something outside the ring.
We like to keep the GED program going. We're going to have down the road a vocational center open where we're going to teachers in to teach to be an electrician and a plumber and like that, because they don't have vocational schools too much anymore around. And so we're going to do that. We're starting off now with the alliance that I formed, where there are construction companies that come to myself and I give them healthy athletes to make apprentices on the job.
For more information, including getting involved, go to our website, WNCT.com. And here's a good news update for you. A few months ago, we told you about a local Girl Scout dedicated to helping students. Madison Wallace asked for donations to send students off to class on the right foot. Now we're just learning she surpassed her goal, making 108 backpacks for those who use the Salem United Methodist Church food pantry in Simpson. Students now have all different kinds of items like binders, folders, pens, pencils, and notepads due to Madison's efforts. School Sacks for Kids.
With all the donations collected, I was able to make 108 backpacks filled with school supplies for children whose families might not have the means to get what they need for school. When a child does not have the means, it is very difficult to be successful in school.
Madison earned her silver award from this project. Congratulations to Madison. The next step is, of course, going for the gold. That's the highest award a Girl Scout can earn. And Not on Your Side is recognizing Hispanic Heritage Month. Next, a local restaurant owner's journey to help people in need. A platform for good. It's a phrase you might have heard associated with a group of restaurants in the city of Greenville. That's because for the owner, the restaurants are not just about feeding those hungry. It's also about helping those in need. Ken Watlington has more.
It's the breakfast rush at Harvey's in Greenville, and owner Jay Bastardo is taking it all in.
Man, I'm blessed, right?
Harvey's is one of 3 restaurants he owns.
You know, I come from dirt floors to now being interviewed about how much of an impact we're making in a community that is foreign to us. You know, so life is good.
But Jordanes Bastardo is a long way from his original home. He was born in the Dominican Republic.
In a little place called Villaverde, which also happens to mean Greenville.
Yes.
So I think God was orchestrating something when he brought me here.
He, his wife, and their then 4-year-old son moved to Greenville in 2008. In 2012, he bought a food truck and started sharing the cuisine of his homeland with his new community.
Which we set out in the middle of the college crowd from 8:30 at night to 3:30 in the morning, and we were serving them tacos.
The Villa Verde truck took off in popularity thanks in part to social media. Fast forward a few years and Jay took on another challenge, a physical Villa Verde location.
I am truly putting everything on the line for this project.
It paid off. Villa Verde opened in August of 2015 and quickly became a staple in Greenville. A second location followed in August 2019. Then in 2021, maybe his biggest challenge, taking over longtime Greenville staple Harvey's The Breakfast Place.
My biggest concern is how does a kid from the Dominican Republic now cooks breakfast for people that have been eating in this place for 20, 30 years. Southern American, your diner experience, you know.
Hey, this place is the best place in town, the best breakfast in town.
That's Mary Sergio, known around Harvey's as Mary Mary. The longtime employee had some simple advice for Jay when he took over.
She said, Jay, don't try to come and change anything. Give them what they've been eating forever. Because she's been doing it for 30 years. Man, it's been a success.
But success for Jay means something much more. It means giving back to the community that's given him so much.
If I'm blessed in the way that we've been blessed and don't figure out a way to put that back into the community, then why am I doing it?
He's helped feed law enforcement during hurricanes. During the pandemic, he opened his doors to feed first responders free of charge and put together a food drive to help struggling families.
When we say we're more than a restaurant, we're a platform for good, it's who we are. You know, it's not a thing that we try. It's not something that it became part of our business or the way we do business. It's who we are. That is what makes it exciting, that I can now give God, and man, I'm going to do it to the day I drop.
And that was our Kim Watlington reporting for us. As we honor this special month, we want to remind you on October 8th at noon on WNCT 9 on your side, we'll be airing a National Hispanic Heritage Month special with a look at some local impacts. We'll show you stories highlighting the traditions, foods, and impacts this culture adds to the world. You can also see it on Eastern North Carolina CW on the 9th at 12:30. Next on 9 on the positive side, we're celebrating big birthdays across the country. Their secrets to a long life and happiness ahead. It's a big birthday celebration for a woman in California. Betty Reed Soskin has held many roles in her 101 years. Wartime union clerk, civil rights songwriter, record store owner, and most famously, the nation's oldest park ranger at the Rosie the Riveter National Historical Park in Richmond, California. Now, that's a park that she helped establish. Betty got to soak up birthday celebrations at school named in her honor. Rick Villaroman has more.
With all the fanfare of a royal visit, Betty Reed Soskin was greeted by the students of the school that was renamed after her just 1 year ago. And why not? At 101, she's earned every bit of accolade she gets after a career that spanned decades. But she still can't believe it.
I just can't imagine that that's me. It's just not possible.
Betty started her career as a park ranger at the age of 85, giving history lessons about the women who worked in factories during wartime. Technically, she retired earlier this year, but shows no signs of slowing down.
I never did really retire. I'm still working. I don't know if I'll ever really retire.
Hello. Today she met with students in the classroom, answered questions.
So who in here has a question for a 101-year-old woman?
And what's visiting a middle school without...
Can we take a selfie?
Yes.
But she's smart enough to know that there are still lessons for a 101-year-old.
Oh. I learned about kinetic energy. I didn't realize there was such a thing. I'm going to have to look it up.
She need look no further than a mirror, because as far as energy goes, she's got it to spare. Her daughter Diara put it this way.
I truly have been blessed to be able to have, a front row seat and to watch her in action.
As far as lessons to give after celebrating 101 birthdays, she offered this.
Have you kind of figured out which is the best birthday cake flavor?
Yes.
And which is?
It's the white cake. It's the one that Costco sells.
Who can argue with that? And with so many stories to tell and so many lives touched,
I really look up to you.
When asked if her biggest legacy will be being a park ranger,
no, it's having this school. This has been most wonderful thing that has happened to me, because I know that I mattered.
And to so many, matter she does.
It's as if my whole life has been leading to this moment. I never dreamed that it would.
And that was Rick Villaroman with that report. It's hard to keep track of all of Betty's accomplishments. In 1995, she was named California Woman of the Year. And a Pennsylvania woman is celebrating a big milestone too, turning 100. And of course, what's a birthday without all your friends, family, and loved ones around? Blanche Bowers is the birthday girl, and even the mayor of Erie showed up to her party. He presented a proclamation for her there.
We have a lot of very good families in Erie, and they do great work with not just with their family, but with the rest of the community as well. And unfortunately, we're not always aware of all of them, but this is great to be able to recognize one and really celebrate her life here in Erie.
I feel so honored. Now, that's not just baloney. I truly am surprised.
Farrah says she moved to Erie from Franklin 80 years ago. Now check out these sweet moves. They're known as the Betsy Head Brownsville Babes. They're a new New York cardio dance aerobics team, all over 60, and might we say they are fabulous. Carolyn Herring is the president. She says the only requirement is to be over 60 and be full of energy.
I just love it. It's the community, and what we're trying to do with the community is get them healthy. And people are living longer, so there's a lot of seniors that we're trying to get out to make them move.
Age is just a number. Health is what it is.
The group practices 6 hours a week. Just ahead on 9 on the positive side, a principal is taking to new heights outside the classroom. We'll have his daring adventure next. In South Carolina, one principal is encouraging his students to set goals and keep promises. Abner Creek Academy's principal went skydiving after his students raised $30,000 for an outdoor classroom. The principal says it was one of many goals he set for students during the parent-teacher organization's Boosterthon Week. He says it was his first time skydiving. Look at him go. So he took a leap of faith and hopes his students are able to learn something positive from this.
Challenge yourself to reach things that you don't think you can, and also be a man of your word and a lady of your word, and if you say you're going to do something, you hold to it.
Now, the principal also says some of the money raised will be to improve that outdoor classroom area. He says they're going to add bleachers and create more shade so it can be used for plays and performances. Pretty cool. And thank you so much for watching 9 on the positive side. As always, we close out with a good video. It's the Balloon Festival in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Have a great day. Everyone, we'll see you next week.